Hi there, welcome back to Paginated Reports 101. This is Lenore Flower with CAF to Code, and in this video, I'll be walking you through how to use a Power BI dataset as your Paginated Reports data source. This video is all about making use of the shared Power BI service to repurpose the hard work that's already been put into creating a Power BI dataset and reuse that information for a new paginated report. But first, I wanted to start this video with a warning. If you try to interact with Power BI Report Builder the same way you do with Power BI Desktop, you're going to have a bad time. Paginated reports and standard Power BI reports evolved separately within the Microsoft ecosystem, with paginated reports starting out as SQL Server reporting services, and Power BI standard reports starting as an Excel add-in called Power Pivot. I don't have any insider knowledge on how or when Microsoft decided they were going to merge these two tools together, but it seems obvious to me that some shoehorning was involved to make paginated reports fit in the Power BI ecosystem. Exhibit A for my shoehorning theory are the false friends between Power BI Report Builder and Power BI Desktop. Because these tools evolve separately, they use some key words and phrases to mean different things. Data source almost gets a pass. In Power BI Desktop, it does have significantly more data sources, but when you go into Power BI Report Builder, if you assume that it's going to mean the same thing as in Power BI Desktop, you're going to have a rude awakening. There's significantly less to work with. Datasets are a completely different beast between the two tools. When we talk about a data set in the Power BI service, we're talking about something that has a data model, that has Power Query logic, DAX measures, all sorts of information imported into it in most cases. It's basically functioning as a columnar database tailored to your reporting needs. Data sets in the Power BI Report Builder are much simpler. They're a query that outputs a single table. If you're aiming to use the data from a standard Power BI report in a paginated report, you accomplish this by first uploading your PBIX file to make the dataset available in the Power BI service, then defining that Power BI dataset as the data source in the Power BI Report Builder, and finally by picking the fields you want from the data source to create a data set. Let me briefly walk you through each. Here we are on the Power BI desktop version of our report. I'm just going to go up here and click Publish. Then in the Power BI service in the relevant workspace, we can see that our PBIX file has been split into a report and a data set. The report is the same thing as a PBIT, a Power BI template. This is not going to include any imported data. And you can tell that by sort of hovering right here where you can see the options for refreshing your data show up for the data set, but not for the report. The data set is what we're going to use as our source. We can see that it's successfully loaded. And I just want to go up here and show you briefly, if you haven't already downloaded Paginated Report Builder, you can do that right here. Now in a blank version of Power BI Report Builder, I'm going to right-click on Data Sources. I want to show you just briefly, you have the option to select Add Power BI Dataset Connection or Add Data Source. Both will let you connect to Power BI datasets. You can see the option right here. There are a couple extra steps here, so I'm just going to go ahead and right-click again and choose the connection. As long as I'm logged in, which you can see right up here, I'll be able to connect directly to my workspace and the relevant data set that I want to use. That's all you need to do to get your data source set up. Now let's very briefly touch on data sets just to sort of close the loop. In the data set properties, you're going to choose your source. Then in the query designer, this is where you'll choose the fields that you want, which will be the same ones that you would have seen in the PBIX file. So I'm just going to arbitrarily choose a couple and grab customer, let's say customer ID, hit refresh, just so you can see this information is populating and flowing from the Power BI data set. We're going to go into paginated report datasets in greater detail in the next video, but hopefully now you're able to see how A paginated report data source, what we just built, serves as a conduit between these two kinds of data sets, enabling the data loaded into the Power BI dataset to become available for the paginated report dataset each time the report is run. I hope you found this helpful. Please stick around for part 3, where we'll create a paginated dataset and matrix.